Hi all you beautiful ones. I thought I'd just read this channeling to you by John Smallman that came yesterday, and I just love it so much. So let's see what he says. It's by Jesus. The signs of humanity's most wonderful awakening are clearly visible, as ever more choose to engage in contemplative or physical activities to assist in this most marvelous event. The awakening process is proceeding apace, and there is no one on earth who remains completely unaware that something of great importance is occurring. A great release is in progress, as much buried and denied anger, resentment, bitterness and hatred is arising into people's conscious awareness and shocking them. There are very few who have not buried or denied aspects of themselves that arose and were acted upon when they believed that they were under attack physically or psychologically. These aspects that are not in alignment with your true nature, love, have to be released, because they are effectively the screen or veil which hides your true nature from you, leaving you feeling separated, abandoned, and unloved. Love is the life force that flows through your human forms, and it is immensely powerful when you allow it access. You cannot shut it off completely, and you would not want to, because death of your human form would follow. However, your unloving attitudes and beliefs prevent you from having full access to its enormous power, the power to move mountains. So you can understand why you have to release these blocks in order for you to awaken. And that is what is happening now all over the world, as people find seemingly shocking and unconscionable memories of past thoughts and actions which they had denied or buried, arising unexpectedly into their awareness. This brings with it a sense of guilt and shame. This too must be released. First, you are the beloved children of God and are therefore eternally and infinitely loved. Second, because the environment in which these seemingly shameful thoughts and activities occurred is unreal, they did not really happen. Yes, to you in form it certainly seems that they did, but that is all part of the unreal nightmare from which you are in the process of awakening. You need to forgive yourselves for your own apparent misbehaviors, and you also need to forgive all others for theirs. God has forgiven you, knowing as He does that nothing untoward has occurred, and that you remain His beloved children who have made some errors that are being most perfectly corrected and released. You have all been children, and many of you have had children yourselves, so you are very well aware of the difficulties and problems that arise for a person as they grow from infancy to adulthood. You all understand that things will be said and done that are painful to experience and that cause suffering, guilt and shame. But you also know that you have learnt lessons from these experiences that have proved to be invaluable. Being in form as a human is an ongoing learning experience, and as lessons present themselves, are learned and understood, maturity develops, leading eventually to a certain amount of wisdom. Wisdom understands that lessons need to be learned and understood, and it knows that accidents, misbehaviors, and vindictive words and actions will occur as part of a human's learning experience, as a human progresses along the path of spiritual evolution. The main path which a human prior to incarnation planned and designed in order to be able to follow it and learn the desired lessons. And that wisdom understands that shaming and blaming are not in the least bit helpful to an individual. Wisdom, your spiritual support team, offers gentle guidance to you at all times if you choose to listen to it, and always encourages you to trust yourselves when you operate from integrity and to forgive yourselves for any errors you make. The errors are lessons that you needed to learn, and you should not judge yourselves harshly for making them, or for allowing them to occur, and most definitely do not take on that useless and most painful burden, shame, because it serves no useful purpose and only leads to enormous reluctance to engage fully with life as you move forward, when that is precisely what you incarnated to do. Errors are inevitable. They are an essential aspect of your evolutionary process. To evolve is human, and humanity has been evolving since the moment of apparent separation. As long as you are in human form, you will be capable of evolving, because evolution is an ongoing and endless process for those in form. However, many are distracted from doing so, either by the many alluring possibilities with which life in form presents them, or for fear of making errors, of being wrong. Hence, reincarnation is always available in order to engage with new opportunities for your spiritual evolution. Often when an entity leaves human form behind and returns to the non-physical realms, it is amazed and shocked to realize how many wonderful opportunities for spiritual evolvement were presented to it that it either did not see or choose to ignore. Do not concern yourselves about this, because it most certainly does not lead to harsh judgment or punishment when you lay down your physical forms. That is utterly impossible in reality, where there is only love. What happens is that a most loving being greets you warmly, completely and utterly accepting you, just as you are, and guides you as you make the choice either to reincarnate into form or to remain in the non-physical realms. There is no pressure, judgment, shame or blame, just a most loving welcome, as any suffering and regret is dissolved and healed. To transform from human form back into the non-physical realms is always a great joy, as the love that is all. One more time. To transfer from human form back into the non-physical realms is always a great joy, as the love that is all that is embraces the one returning home. However, while in form, it is essential to use every opportunity with which that state presents to you to further your spiritual evolution, because those opportunities are only available to those in form, and as I said above, when an entity leaves form behind and returns home, it is often shocked when it becomes aware of the many wonderful opportunities it did not see or chose to ignore. Therefore, while in form, live fully as a human and empower your evolving spirituality by daily going within to your holy inner sanctuary and settling the intent to be only loving whatever may arise in your daily lives. Doing that brings you peace and contentment and an inner intuitive knowing that you are on your path and living the life that you planned before you incarnated. And that knowing gives you the strength, the motivation and enthusiasm that makes life a joy and demonstrates to you the immense value of a human life experience. Your loving brother, Jesus.